everyone, welcome back to my home studio. If you've ever asked yourself what's the best Mac for music production or video editing, then you're in the right place. Over the years I've tested and worked with different Macs, MacBook Pros, Mac Minis, and Mac Studios, using them for everything from writing music in Logic Pro, Ableton, and Pro Tools, to editing videos in Final Cut Pro and DaVinci Resolve. And in this video, I'm going to break it all down so you know exactly which Mac fits your creative workflow. And here's what we're covering today. The most important Mac specs you should care about: CPU, RAM, and SSD storage, the differences between MacBook Pros, Mac Minis, and Mac Studios for creators, my recommended setups for music producers and video editors, and the must-have accessories that make your workflow faster and smoother. Stick around until the end, because I'll also share which single Mac I would choose if I could only own one for all my music and video work. Trust me, this one was not an easy decision, and this video, I'm going to break it all down: which Mac models I recommend, what specs actually matter, CPU, RAM, and SSD storage, the accessories that can seriously improve your workflow, and finally, the one Mac I'd pick if I could only have one. Why specs matter for creators. Every Mac comes with 3 customizable specs when you order: processor, CPU, RAM, memory, SSD storage. Each one plays a very different role. Processor, this is the brain of your Mac. It determines how fast your computer runs apps, handles plugins, and exports files. A stronger processor equals faster performance and less lag. RAM, think of this as your short-term memory. RAM holds your active project while you're working, whether that's a Logic Pro session full of virtual instruments or a Final Cut Pro video timeline with multiple layers of footage. SSD storage, this is your long-term memory. It stores your apps, plugins, sound libraries, sample packs, project files, and videos. The key is balance. If one of these is too low, it can bottleneck your entire workflow. Apple processors explain. CPU. Apple Silicon processors are named with an M followed by a number: M1 2020, M2 2022, M3 2023, M4 2024. Each new generation gets faster and more efficient, but Apple also splits them into tiers: Pro, balance, power, and efficiency. Max, more cores for professional creators. Ultra, top of the line, essentially 2 Max chips combined. So which should you pick? Best performance: M4 Max. This is the powerhouse for serious music and video creators. You can run huge Logic Pro sessions, tons of plugins, and high-resolution video edits without breaking a sweat. Best budget: M1 Max. Even though it's a few years old, it's still an incredible performer in 2025, and you can find them refurbished at a great price. Compact option: M4 Pro in the Mac Mini. Great value if you want desktop power without spending Mac Studio money. Why it matters for music. A strong CPU means you can load more plugins, apply more effects, and use lower buffer sizes like 32 samples, which reduces latency while recording. This is something that wasn't even possible 6 to 7 years ago, and now it's standard with Apple Silicon. Why it matters for video. You can edit higher quality footage, work with multicam projects smoothly, render faster, and apply demanding effects like motion tracking or beauty filters with ease. Bottom line, don't skimp on CPU power if you're serious about your creative work. SSD storage. Music, only any good 4K HDMI monitor will do. For video creators, the Apple Studio Display 5K is incredible. Sharp colors, accurate grading, built-in webcam, and it connects with just one Thunderbolt cable. External SSDs and hard drives: SanDisk Extreme and Samsung T7 SSDs for current projects. Large backup drives: NAS for storing completed work long-term. Why this matters. Just like good speakers let you trust your mixes, a great display lets you trust your colors when editing video. It's insanely powerful, almost impossible to max out with music or video projects. Tons of ports, I can connect everything in my studio without extra hubs. I mostly work from home, so portability isn't my priority. That said, the MacBook Pro, Mac Mini, and Mac Studio are all excellent choices. The right pick depends on your budget and whether you need portability or maximum power. Just to give you some context, I started making music back in 2006 on GarageBand on a school computer, and since then I've worked my way up through every generation of Mac. These machines have literally powered my career. So everything I'm about to share with you comes from real-world experience, not just the spec sheet. So, that's my complete breakdown of the best Macs for music and video production in 2025, including which processor to pick, how much RAM and storage you need, and the accessories that can make or break your workflow. But if I had to narrow it down and pick just one computer for everything, my personal choice would be the M4 Max Mac Studio. It gives me all the power, ports, and performance I need here in my home studio. But remember, the best Mac for you depends on your lifestyle. If you're always traveling, the MacBook Pro might be the better fit. If you're building a home studio on a budget, the Mac Mini is an amazing option. Now I want to hear from you. What Mac are you currently using in your studio? Are you Team MacBook Pro, Mac Mini, or Mac Studio? Drop your setup in the comments below, because I'd love to hear your workflow and what's been working best for you. Don't forget to check the description for all the products and accessories I mentioned today, plus my collection of vocal templates, serum presets, and sample packs over at imcar.com if you want to level up your sound. If this video helped you, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss my next studio tips and gear breakdowns. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. Wishing you an inspired week of creating, and I'll catch you in the next video.